Hello again, welcome back to IDT in 120, the monthly video series where I do my best to recap the latest issue of Inside Dental Technology in 120 seconds or less, or give or take a little bit of time. It's a big issue this month. This is the annual tech issue, an annual occurrence that breaks into all of the cutting edge technology right on the forefront of development. This is July 2022, Volume 13, Issue number 7. Let's get into it. We start off with a slight change. Executive Editor Daniel Alter steps in to write the foreword as opposed to Peter Pizzi, and he makes some remarks regarding his thoughts on the future of dental tech before the issue breaks into an article written by a gentleman named Terry Fine. He's the owner of a marketing agency in Colorado. In this article, Terry Fine extols the virtues of digital advertising and automated marketing. I could talk about this for hours. I have spent the past decade in marketing, sales, advertising. I actually worked for a few years selling digital advertising as the digital marketing specialist for a local newspaper here in Utica, the Observer-Dispatch. So I take almost all marketing advice with an enormous grain of salt, but he makes some very good points here. I think the most important, paramount thing that a lab could do, especially speaking from our own experience, a small lab, have a good, well-functioning website, up to date, that looks with the times, that is mobile-friendly, that is fast-loading, have your fee schedule easily available. Use that as the main marketing vehicle for your business. I still think having a good old-fashioned sales rep still works really well too, personally, but if you're going to focus on digital advertising, having a well-made website is where to start. As far as using AI and automated marketing, in my opinion, you have to be a little bit careful with that because dental labs are extremely niche. Dentistry in its own is a niche. Dental technology is a subsection of a niche. So there's not a lot of search volume. The way that a lot of AI works is they analyze search volume for, say, dentures, dental labs, implants, dental implants. And the only problem with that is that most people who are searching for that sort of thing are patients. And of course, dental labs can't work with patients. So without having a dedicated person to personally oversee an ad campaign, a digital marketing campaign, it gets really easy for the AI to waste your advertising dollars on patients who are looking for the information as opposed to the doctors who are ultimately who you're trying to sell to. One small problem with promoting dental labs is that because it is so niche, it can be a little bit difficult to parse out dentists, which is why, I think an effective method that we really took full advantage of for 5 years or so is having a sales rep print out fee schedules, just have them go drop off the fee schedule, follow up with the potential doctors, spear fishing, as opposed to casting with a net, I suppose. I have an ongoing video series on this channel speaking about dental marketing. Could work for dental labs as well, and really any small business, same principles apply. Once I get the new website launched, which should be happening later this month, I'll get back to that series and talk a little bit more about how to drive traffic to your website as opposed to necessarily just building your website. But that's more to come on that shortly. Anyways, this isn't the digital marketing hour, so let's keep moving along. The main event of the feature article is written by Jason Mazda. It is titled The Printed Crown, and it explores where we stand today on 3D printed permanent restorations, such as crowns and bridges, veneers, that sort of thing. That's really the last hurdle when it comes to 3D printing in the dental technology space. We have polymer printers, which do an excellent job of printing acrylic like structures, polymers, of course. We have DMLS 3D metal printers, which we use in our lab to create our dental frames. We don't have a printer yet that can do ceramics. A quick look at the periodic table should lead you to believe that the properties involved with, say, either chromium cobalt or a carbon chain polymer are significantly different than lithium disilicate or zirconia oxide. The technology to print ceramics just doesn't exist yet. Now don't get me wrong, the prospect of having additive manufacturing for crown and bridge as opposed to reductive manufacturing would be, tremendous accomplishment in the field. It would severely reduce the cost per unit of a crown, and realistically, probably could have benchtop 3D printers right in the dental office. Could do in minutes, what takes hours now. But unfortunately, the tech just isn't there. Material to printing resin that they're highlighting in this article is Crown Tech. It is a 3D printed material using a polymer printer. Flexural strength is not very strong, about 135 megapascals. That's awfully weak. It's better than say PMMA acrylic flexural strength, but dentin in natural teeth has a flexural strength of roughly 200 megapascals, lithium disilicate 400, and zirconia 800 to well over 1,000 megapascals, depending on anterior, posterior, and exactly what sort of zirconia you're using. So, in my personal opinion, I don't think it's there yet. I wouldn't recommend having crowns printed for anything other than temporaries at this time. But, like I said, it's changing fast, and every episode I have to say it, the industry is changing fast. So stay tuned. This time next year, there may be a new printing technology out there. In the next article, Benjamin Taylor stops by, and he goes through the options when it comes to 3D printers, and this is a space that has just grown tremendously and extremely quickly. He does a good job breaking it down based on need. One thing he didn't point out, there's three main types of 3D printers, polymer printers, which he's talking about here. Metal printers are kind of in its own separate category, but polymer printers, they use a technique called vat photopolymerization, and with the idea there is that they all use UV light to soft cure the model, the denture apparatus. There's three methods to do that. SLA, or stereolithography, is the first method that was invented to take advantage of this technique. That's a certain category of 3D printer. DLP, digital light processing printers, those are a kind of an improvement on the SLA printers. Both of those methods have had their patents expire, which is part of the reason why you see so much more competition now in the 3D printer space. The general rule of thumb is that DLP is a little bit better than SLA, and then most recently DLS, digital light synthesis, is a method that is still under patent. That is the method that carbon 3D printers use, and it is the printer that we use in our laboratory, and it is a phenomenal instrument, and we are finding that it's replacing the majority of our removable work. If you'd like some more information about where we currently stand on 3D printing, you can check out the video series, Advancements in Digital Dentistry. I'll leave a link below. This month's MasterClass is an expose on a new method of placing implants without using a traditional surgical guide. This is a bit outside my purview, as that falls more under the category of dentistry or oral surgery than it does for lab technology. But it's certainly something worth looking into if you are a dentist who is placing implants or plans on placing implants. A little bit of a different take, a different spin. They use a different type of surgical guide to place implants for an all-on-4 full restoration. And finally, the TechBiz section talks a little bit about dentistry in the metaverse of all things, and you can read that if you want to have a good laugh. Time. All right, I got kind of caught up there, rambling a bit about marketing. That'll happen. Happens to be something I know an awful lot about. But other than that, pretty good. A little cynical. I know, I don't want to undermine 3D printing technology. It has grown by leaps and bounds. But, permanent solutions, crown and bridge solutions, I'd be shocked. I know there are people much smarter than I hard at work trying to develop a way to print ceramics, but from what limited knowledge I have of inorganic chemistry, I'd be shocked if they could figure out a way to do that anytime soon. But you never know. New resins are made every day. Improvements are made to printing material. 3D printers, processes are improved. Polymer resin were to exist that can harden as hard as zirconia or lithium disilicate. You're one discovery away. So that's it for the July issue of Inside Dental Technology. If you're interested in giving it a read, check out Inside Dental Tech, part of the Aegeus Dental Network, including Inside Dentistry, Inside Dental Hygiene, and the Continuing Education Compendium. Very, very high regarded publications, peer reviewed publications. Check them out if you're interested in learning a bit more about the industry as a whole and where things are headed. And if you liked what you saw, go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Leave a comment, give a thumbs up, let me know what you think, and it all means a lot to us YouTube creators. But that's it for this month. I will see you soon. So long for now.